Hello and welcome to this tutorial on C# 4.0 name parameters. Name parameters are a new feature introduced to C# 4.0, and we're just going to have a little demonstration and look at exactly what they are and how they work here with this console application that I've got loaded up for you. So what's a named parameter in a method declaration? Well, they come in very useful when you want to pass parameters in any order. You just apply the parameter together with its name in the method call, so you can select the order you actually want to pass in the parameters. To make that a little bit clearer, I'm just going to take a look at my method declaration here. The method's called process. It's got 3 parameters in the signature after it, and we can actually see that the last 2 have been provided with default values, but pretty standard little method we got here. It doesn't do very much, just actually writes out a string. So if we actually look at an example of calling process, we can see in our first call up here, we call process and we pass in foo, which will match up with my first parameter, and then we actually provide an array list and we supply the name. The name, if I look down to the declaration here, is more data. So this is the idea that by simply supplying the name, we're not restricted to supplying the parameters in any specific order. We can mix the order up simply by making sure that the name is actually included in there. So that will work. That's valid, that first call we have here. Second valid call we've got here, process foo true. What we've done is we simply admitted more data, which will mean that the default value for the parameter is actually used in the call. Final call we've got here, we pass in again 2 parameters. We pass in a string and then we supply for our second parameter the value true, but we again specify the name. The name of the parameter is ignore ws, and the syntax here is simply to put a colon after the name and then supply the value to that. So that looks pretty fine. Let's just run it and see what actually happens. As a console application, the results are going to appear in the console window. We have 3 foos representing the results of 3 calls to process, each case outputting a string, as we actually saw in there. So that's about it. One of the more straightforward of the new features, I think. Named parameters have been around in Visual Basic .NET for a long time as well, but new to C# 4.0. I hope you found this interesting. There are more tutorials in this series looking at C# 4.0 and other areas.